commitment, exactly.
Oh, I feel on a different Zoom, that's wild.
We're glad you're able to find the new floor. So you know, from now on, people ask us, would we ever consider going somewhere else? And one reason we say no is because of this floor. This is just kind of a great space to do open space, which we'll be doing in 1 second. Richard, you ready? One moment. So I'm going to just pontificate. Are you good? So I'll actually be turning the floor over to Richard, who's going to convene and kind of guide this open space for us today. There certainly has been a lot of things that people have learned. Before Richard opens, I will just kind of encourage you all to be selfish with this time. So there is no agenda in open space. It is driven by you. So I've heard from a lot of people things like, well, we've learned a lot of interesting things. I'm just not quite sure how I can take it back. Or I'm not sure how it all fits together. So I would really encourage you to use this day to kind of work with some of your peers and start to answer some of those questions. And Gloria, is there a public service announcement I have neglected to make?
So make sure, so you're getting on the drawing today, make sure you do your surveys for each day. Because you're drawing each day, okay? So we'll be collecting through the day.
Okay, so to remember, please fill out the
We want you to have a great time next year again, too.
Where's the drop-off going to be?
Yeah, where can we put them?
we should put it by the food. They can't avoid it then. All right, without any further ado, I turn you over to the capable hands of Richard Kasparowski.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Show upstairs. It's actually not about me. Don't walk through me. Walk for yourselves. So let's start with an introduction. Me. I'm special. I'm Richard Kasparowski. One of the reasons I'm special is that I'm not a professional, so to say. I'm not here to look my next kid. I'm here because I'm one of you, a part of the community. I'm here because, well, my vision for myself is that I do great things with great people. This is a great thing I'm doing today with a lot of great people. I'm here because I'm part of the Agile community, and I love it. I'm here because I'm part of the Agile Games community, and I love it. I'm here because I was at the Agile Games conference last year, and I gained the mastery and the courage to bring Agile Games to my work, to help my teams be great. I want that to happen here today. I want you all to have that same mastery and courage and inspiration that I got last year. I also want to introduce some people who were here last night. Raise your hands. I want to introduce these great people. They all made this happen. I did nothing. So thank you. And I want to introduce the people who are going to make this happen today. That's all of you great people. So thank you all for doing that. There's a lot of passion in this room, I know, because I've been here at the conference for the last couple of days. There's a lot of creativity here. There's a lot of knowledge of games. There's a lot of people who want to do something great today, and we're going to make that happen here. Our theme for today is Games at Work, Play to Win. That's the same theme that Michael Sahut introduced at the keynote on Thursday morning. We're going to explore that theme today. We're going to look at games. We're going to learn new games from each other. We're going to get good at games today. We're going to be inspired to bring those games to our work. We're going to learn some games that help us do work. We're going to learn some games that teach us things that help us do great things at work. We're going to learn to be playful. We're going to play. We're going to learn to have the courage to be playful at work. To bring playfulness to work so we can do great things together at work. And we're going to use these games to be great. Whatever that means to you, whatever win means to you, we're going to learn how to win today. Games at work, play to win. That's what today's about. We have some expectations for what's going to happen today. Well, state some of those expectations. I want everyone here to leave today with new games that they can bring to their work so their teams can be great. That was my opening point. We're also going to document what happened today. We're going to publish a proceedings of today's open space. If you want those proceedings to be great, make sure you document your sessions. We've got the world's leading expert on open space proceedings here with us today. Frank, Frank's not here. Frank is going to help us with the proceedings. So session leaders, look to Frank when you're done with your sessions, and he's going to help us make that happen. About a week from now, we're going to publish the proceedings as a PDF. We'll send emails to everybody. And I think we're going to post it on the Applebee's website. Couple constraints. Two constraints. One constraint is don't break the space. This is Microsoft's space. They're really nice to us for giving us the space. They do a lot of great things for the community, not just us, but a lot of different community groups. Don't do anything that will damage the space. Don't put tape on anything except paper. But don't tape paper to walls and everything like that. There's a good example over there of people who taped to the floor and broke the floor. Don't damage anything. Another constraint, be careful with markers. If you're writing with a magic marker on paper, make sure it doesn't go through the paper and go on table. Just don't do anything damage. Second constraint is we're going to leave the room by 5 o'clock. Okay, so we're going to close space well before that. And we can hang out. And, some people are going to clean up, other people are going to hang out and keep talking. But we just all have to leave here by 5 o'clock. So we can keep talking. We can go on your beers and keep going. So how does this all work? Open space. There's some veterans here, there's some new people that live today. At the end of the day, we'll all be open space veterans. Our schedule for today is right there. There's 3 windows with blank white paper on them. How will you fill it in? What do you do today? Yes, we will. So I had an amazing open space experience. I've attended a few open spaces. My first one was with Harrison Owen, who invented open space. It totally inspired me. I had a great experience here at open space last year. Actually, another outcome for today is learn open space. Bring it to your work. You have to do something good for your work. I did that after a couple of open spaces. I brought open space to my work. I did something crazy. I conducted an open space for 6 weeks, where it was all about the people I work with deciding what they wanted to learn from each other for 6 weeks. That was insanity, that somebody would let people do whatever they wanted at work for 1.5 months. It was awesome. It was awesome. We had a team of people, we had 2 software teams. One team was transferring 100 man years of knowledge to a new software team. And they did it. It was awesome. It was great. I want everybody to have a great open space experience today and bring it back to your work so you can do great things at your work. Open space is all about passion and responsibility. Everybody here is passionate about something. I know because I've been with you for the last couple of days. If you're passionate about something, I'm going to ask you to come forward with a topic or an issue that you want to explore, that you're passionate about. And I'm going to ask you to write the title of your session that you're passionate about on a piece of paper, and your name on a piece of paper. And then stand with me in the circle and just tell everybody your topic. Just announce, my topic is, my name is. And then bring your topic over to the agenda wall. Sean's going to help us organize the agenda wall. Bring your topic over there, and he'll help organize things and make that work. It's not about brainstorming. You come up here with your topic, and you state your topic. You're not asking for advice, this is something you're passionate about. As a session proposer, you're a convener. You're passionate about this topic, and you're responsible for convening a session on this topic. You're going to pick a room and time. We have 6 rooms, 2 downstairs, 4 upstairs, and 3 time slots today. You're going to pick a room and a time, so tell from Sean. And you're going to be there to convene your session. And you're going to document your session. At every session space, we have a clipboard with some session report forms in it. And that documentation is important. That's how we're going to build the proceedings. Whatever you write there will become the proceedings. If you want the proceedings to be great, let's make the session reports great. Also, any other artifacts, if you draw things on paper, label your paper with your session name and the space and time, and we'll make sure that's the proceedings. A little bit of housekeeping. We're going to have a tight schedule today. It's a little tighter than most open space schedules. It's a lesson learned from past applicants open spaces. We're going to serve food at 12 o'clock during the second session. Feel free to bring food with you back to your session. We will take an actual lunch break at 12:30. You can take an actual lunch break if you want. You can keep going if you want. Feel free to take food to your sessions. It's not a problem. We're going to close space at 2:30. So we can come back at 2:30. And we're just going to do it at 2:30. I don't have any magic bells that are going to call people together. We'll just get back together at 2:30. Open space is based on attachment responsibility and also 4 principles in 1 law. So the first principle is whoever comes is the right people. If you convene a session, whoever shows up at your session is the right people. You don't have to wait for the world's leading expert on your topic to show up. You just get what is there. You don't have to wait for 50 people to show up. You just do it. Whoever's there is the right people. Something funny might happen. You might convene a session and you might be the only one who attends. That's okay. You're the right person. When's the last time you had 1.5 hours to just sit and think about a topic that you're passionate about? So use that time. You're the right people. Second principle is that whatever happens is the only thing that could happen. Okay, so it's not about what could have happened or what should have happened. Whatever happens is what happens. That's not it. Don't worry about it. Go with it. Whenever it starts, it's the right time. So you can begin your session. It might start at the appointed time. It might start a little later. That's okay. Whenever it starts, it's the right time. Creativity doesn't run on a schedule. Something we've been talking about this week. Whenever it starts, it will start. Whenever it's over, when it's over, it's over. You explore your topic for 10 minutes, and you have nothing left to talk about. You're done. That's great. And you go on to another session and contribute to something else. As a corollary, when it's not over, it's not over. So if you've gone for the hour and a half and you have a lot more to talk about, keep going. You might have to move with your space to be respectful to the next group of people. But keep going. There's a lot of space here. Use it. Use all of it. Okay. So it's not over. It's not over. So we have 4 principles and 1 law. The law is the law of 2 feet. This law is all about your responsibility to make sure you get what you need today. All right. If you're at a session and you find that you're neither contributing nor learning, it's up to you to make sure that you get what you need. and you take 2 feet and walk to another session. All right. The only person who can make sure you get what you need today is you. Use your 2 feet to make that happen. Along with the law of 2 feet, we like to talk about 2 special animals: bumblebees and butterflies. Bumblebees are great. They land in a flower, they pick up some pollen, they buzz around, they land in another flower, drop some pollen, pick up some more pollen, buzz around to another flower, drop some pollen, pick up some more pollen. Some of us here are bumblebees. Some of us here are just going to bounce around from session to session. Pick up some ideas from one session, buzz over to another session, drop off some ideas, pick up some new ideas, buzz over to another session, pick up some other ideas, drop off some ideas. We love bumblebees. They help make us in space work. They help us all learn from each other. You're a bumblebee? You're good. The other animal we like to talk about is butterflies. Butterflies actually don't know. They're beautiful. They attract people to them. A butterfly might be sitting on the couch over there, all alone. You see a butterfly, go sit next to the butterfly. Find out what's going on. Find out what that person is passionate about. Take that, bring it to a session, and share with them. If you're a butterfly, you don't like to attend sessions, don't feel guilty about it. We love you. If you're the kind of person who goes to the conference and you get invited to people who don't go to sessions, don't. We love butterflies. Butterflies are great. There's a third kind of animal that doesn't exist at open space. That animal is the boar. Okay? Boars don't exist at open space because of the law of 2 feet. If somebody's monopolizing a conversation, if somebody is running a session so that they can just do their thing no matter what anybody else wants, well, the law of 2 feet says that people are going to walk away. Right? So boorish behavior is just naturally moderated by the law of 2 feet. There are no boars at open space. It just can't happen. Finally, be prepared to be surprised. We don't know what's going to happen today. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something great. This group of people is very special. This event, this is the only time this is going to happen in the history of the universe. This is the only time this group of people will be together on a day like this, with the sun shining through the windows across the shoulder. Take advantage of the time we have together today. And be prepared to be surprised. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be great. So let's make that happen today. And let's do it. So remember, you're responsible for making sure you get what you need today. You're going to invite people forward to propose topics. Write down your topic and your name. Stand here and share with everybody. Go over to the agenda wall, shopping companies, arrange everything. If you don't hear a topic that you're passionate about, it's up to you to bring that topic to us. If your issue, your topic isn't addressed, look at yourself. What are you passionate about and bring it to us? My hope for everybody is that magic happens today. That we do something great. That we have a lot of fun. So now I invite you to come forward with your topic. Right.
Yeah, making them alive. And my name is Karen Spencer.
Hi, I'm Andre. I have naps at work. Never talk about why. I'm calling it Pomodoro naps, and it's about learning, it's about energy, it's productivity. How do I get away with it without getting fired?
All right. I'm Frank. I want to do something I call Agile batting practice. It's all great athletes that are great during a game are great because they take the time to practice. I want to figure out how Agilists can practice and then naturally become better.
Thank you, Frank. And remember on your sheet, your topic and your name.
Hi folks, we had a lot of fun at the game incubator yesterday, and we came up with a game called Tasty Cupcakes, which is basically a learning game, learning the value of iteration, improvement, and retrospection, and using metrics to help illustrate that, which is, we all know something management really wants to see. So come help us refine this game. It's a physical game, we'll build things, we'll have fun.
And one thing I'll add to this, we were both incredibly surprised with how the game turned out, since we went into the session with no expectations, and now we have a game to share with you. Come explore.
And it's
Rick Wahlberg,
And Solana.
Yesterday afternoon, I was in a session with a game called DC, and I got furious while playing it, and I was told brutal to the game designers, but we didn't really have time to talk about how to make the game better, and so I'd like to discuss how that game can be improved so that other players won't be furious when playing it. My name is David Rosenberg, and we'd be actually very helpful if some of the game designers came to that session.
My name is Marius. I'm with the North Innovation Lab, and my session is called Discovery, Not Delivery, and it's about innovating using Agile and about 3 other approaches. And that's it. That's right, yeah. Personas are not dead. We use them, but they're transformed a little bit. So if you're interested in that, come by your time.
Hi, my name is Michelle Legere. I've never been to open space. I have no intention of standing here right now. But I had this idea, because I'm an artist part-time, art and Agile. Applying the law of 3, where you can make things multidimensional to Agile concepts, potentially story-writing.
Good morning. My name is Cindy Pereira. I'm a product owner, and one of the things that I learned in one of the storytelling sessions yesterday was the lack of planning the story so that they had a consistent theme and how to prioritize them. So what I do is I facilitate workshops with both Agile teams and with the business unit on how to be able to do productive Agile planning, how to be able to prioritize the stories in the backlog so that you're working on the things that are most important. This seems fairly Agile, but the techniques to get everyone in the room to be able to communicate and identify what is important to them. So this is more of a techniques and tips and tricks on how to be able to work with communicators and non-communicators.
Okay, my name is Nancy Mayer. I just call this a change game, and I'm interested in making change fun and positive because a lot of people find it really scary. So, I'm going to kind of go on a game that I've played in the past, and see if we can't get some input and make it, feasible for more of a work environment.
All right, I'm running a session called Last Chance Language Hunt. I've come all this way to share language hunting with you. I'm really honored to be invited a 2nd year in a row, but I'm not going to take that for granted. And I ask that you don't either. If you're at all interested in experiencing accelerated learning and applying, using that as a reference for applying it to your workload. come to the Language 10 session with me, Will Marson. And I'm expecting all kinds of players to be there, like you, Sean, and Shauna, and Nancy, and Rom. Come and play with us, learn with us. All right, thanks.
Morning, my name is Brian Rizzuto, and I'd like to do a session we're calling Paper Airplane Factory Part 2. We did this as a game yesterday, playing with a lot of dimensions around the types of planes or how we allow people to build them. We came away with the conclusion that the way we framed the game had profound impacts. So silly things like counting the number of planes that each team built motivated the teams to do different things. So we want to try it again, playing with some of the game dimensions to see what that does.
Hi, I'm David Kuntz. I'd like to discuss simulations for learning. And it's just a discussion about how we use simulations, and I don't really have a topic except how do you use simulations for learning? I want to pull information from you. Thank you.
I'm very good. So when I wake up from my nap, I want to talk about short games, no problem solving. It's one of my favorite open space sessions from a couple of years ago, and it's everybody standing around just doing little games.
Hi, my name is Kay Johansson. I'm going to be hosting a conference in Salt Lake City this June, Agile Roots, and I'm interested in creating a conference that people love. So I'd be really interested to hear what experiences people have had from conferences and advice, and there are other conference organizers here as well.
Hi, I'm John Martin, and Gene Today and I have been working on a game, so I'd like to do a test run of it. It's called Elephant in the Room, sort of like Taboo. The idea is that we want, it's a teaching game, and we want the people who are doing the game to actually create the game and then play it. So we want to see if that works as good as we can. So we'll test that out for you guys today too.
And remember, if you don't hear your topic, there's something you're passionate about, it's up to you to bring it forward.
Hi, I'm Bert Pine. I have a really strong, what's that called, topic I want, or at least an idea, is about agile strategy, and I'm really puzzled about bridging the gap between the traditional strategy like mission, vision, values and all that, and then the agile activities. I'm not sure if this will end up in a game or just a really long, big discussion. Hopefully with others than me. I'm kind of schizophrenic, so I can't do it myself. But I hope that someone else will come with their inputs in regards to how to bridge that gap, and perhaps some good ideas and things to actually get agile on the board level.
Hi, I'm Mike Sheehy. My topic is called Distributed Agile Games. Games are new to me, and I think they can be very useful, but when I go back to work, one of my problems is pretty much all our teams are distributed. How can we really make this work as a distributed team? Well, there's some games that work, some that don't. I just kind of like to explore that. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason Kittredge, and I basically would like to have a session on boss buy-in. I'm basically here from a company that has some very traditional development philosophies. I'm trying to figure out how to convince my bosses that play at work is a good idea, and I'm interested in any ideas anyone has on that topic.
We still have a couple times and spaces left. Anybody has a topic? I haven't heard it. 4 spaces left.
I
conversations yesterday on Rick Wahlberg about bridging agility. You know, we spent a lot of time focusing on Agile at the execution level with teams. So we had a concept of how do organizations actually come up with things for Agile teams to do, and do we need to look at ways to bring agility into those practices. So I look at it at 3 layers. There's a strategic layer, for example, where a company makes very long-range decisions about what kind of business they're going to be and what kind of products they're going to have. There's a tactical level with a shorter time frame, which fleshes out more detail about products and when they'd like to have things done. And I think what they do is generate high-level stories that execution teams will then take and run with. And I'd just like to spend some time thinking through that with people and how we bring agility to all different levels of this.
All right, last call. Anybody have something they want to explore that we haven't heard yet? Anybody else? My job after this is to take my name out. That sounds like a great idea. I want to explore.
Prior to that session, I don't need 90 minutes to talk about that.
Hi, I'm Michael Timmer. One thing that's passionate to me is I want to see how to prevent scrum zombies. Teams that have been together for a while, how to keep everything fresh so they don't do things by the
All right, so there's our sessions. Session conveners want to remind you to bring your session reports. We have session report forms in every session space. Bring your session report forms back to the agenda wall. We're actually going to take the forms and put them right on the session papers. And Frank is going to help us make that happen.
Lots left.
Lots left. Anybody wants one left?
And clearly you must decide now, because we'll never change our mind.
Okay, anyone here? So, we ran a game yesterday, or I ran a game yesterday called Screen Speak. And I want to take what we did from that and improve it. We're going to rerun it again today.
It cannot be improved.
Yeah, the 20 work.
All right, so now it's all you. We have our agenda. We had a blank set of windows. We now have an agenda. Figure out what things you want to attend today, and make it happen. Have fun.
right? So those are your only two design constraints. You have to have a part of the front of the plane more than 50% or more that is flat, right? It's just straight, and you have to cut at least, let's say, about 4 square inches out of the plane. So basically, you'd start and maybe give like 2 minutes for planning, right? We always try to co-locate. We bring people together with the project. So you get 2 minutes as a group to talk about your design, to agree on some stuff, but it's purely planning, right? Or there's no throwing. And then what we do is, okay, then we distribute. Then we go to that model where it's like, okay, there's 2 of you. You can both fold, but only you get scissors when you're the product. At the end of 5 minutes, we're all going to throw. You get 3 planes or 2 planes and 2 tries per plane. So like where I like what you guys are saying. Where my head is going would be, and you know what? Maybe we just take one design constraint, right? So maybe we make the design much more wide open. So what I could see would be, say you take, and it seems like the
uncouponned is coupon follow A. Coupon follow A. Coupon follow A. Stop. Is coupon follow A.
When I play the guitar, it's not like somebody's telling me, oh, you're doing it right or not. I feel it, like when it goes well and I go through a tune fluently, it feels good. And whatever you do when you practice, however we practice our Agile skills, if it doesn't have that element to it of where I can feel I'm doing it right or not, then it's not valuable. And so like sitting by myself, writing stories, might take me so far, but it's not like, at the end of the day, I need a kind of a field to put it in, to test it, or to get something back from it, And if that's lacking, then the practice isn't really valuable, because you build on it, it's that feeling of progress and satisfaction.
If your question goes, well, how do you go find the links?
How do you go find the links, yeah.
Go explore. Or try some things. You'll find it isn't really siloed in the way that we think. For one person doing all these factors. So,